Now let me go to the next question. If you see here, the number of different non-similar triangles whose all angles measured in degrees from 0 to 180 degree are integers. So we have to go for number of different non-similar triangles. So here what we can use, we can just see a concept here. If we take this first angle to be x, which is greater than equal to 1, the next will be y, which is greater than equal to z, and this is going to be greater than equal to 1 in this case also, right? This is what we have. Okay. Now that means we are having this three angles, so sum is always going to be 180 degree. So this is an integral solution. So what we can say, total number of triangles rather. Let's take it in this way, total number of triangles. What we have? Total number of triangle is 179 C2, and this value is nothing but we have 15931. Okay, this is the value I am talking about. Okay. Now, if we take the next case, I mean this is the total number of triangles. So we will have different cases in this. So first of all, if we just talk about, two angles are equal. Two angles are equal, right? Two angles are equal means I am talking about something like 2x plus y to be is equal to 180 degree, right? So this is what you have. So that means we have something like 1, 1, right? Then we have how much? 178 degree, something like that. Okay. Then we can have 2, 2. So this is going to be 2, 2. This is 176 degree. Got it? So in way we proceed further this way. So we have many things like that. Okay. We have 89. We have 89. Then we have 2 also, right? Same set of things will be also there. So altogether we are having 89 cases, and also it includes 60, 60, 60 also. So what we can say the total number of triangles we required. Okay, so we can just take it in this way, total number of triangles, different triangles we required. Okay, this is always going to be equal to how much? We have 179 C2 minus we have 3 times 89, because we have 3 cases, right? And also within this triangles we have 2 cases of the same angles, right? We divide it by 6. Okay, then we add it 89. So once we add it, we come out with 2700. Okay, so this is the final answer we have. Now students, let's talk about question number 50. If the area of the region represented by the inequation cos x is greater than cos y is k pi square units, where k belongs to natural number and mod x plus mod y is always going to be less than equal to 12 pi. This has been given to us, and then k is equal to 1. Now the important part in this problem is like we have to draw the region here that is represented by the inequation cos x is greater than cos y. So how this can be drawn? So first of all, we have to understand this inequality, friends. So what is going to happen here? This is cos x minus of cos y is greater than 0, right? This is what we have. Now if we have this part, so this is like we can write it as 2 sine x plus y divided by 2, that is cos c minus cos d form, and then we have sine, this is y minus x divided by 2 we have, and this is greater than 0, right? Now you can see here there are 2 cases we can create. One is case 1. This is nothing but we can take sine of x plus y divided by 2 is greater than 0, this is 1, and then we have sine of y minus x divided by 2 which is greater than 0. Okay, this is what we have. Now if we talk about sine x plus y greater than 0, and if you write it in the generalized form, this can be x plus y, this belongs to 4n pi comma 4n plus 2 pi, right? This is what you have. Okay, Similarly, if we talk about this one, this is y minus x belongs to, we have 4m pi, then we have 4m plus 2 times pi. This is the case number 1. So friends, from here we see that we get case 1. Then we have another case, that is case 2 also. So if you talk about case 2 here, case 2, so both has to be negative because the product is positive. So that means we are talking about sine of x plus y divided by 2 is less than 0. Then we have sine of y minus x divided by 2 is less than 0. This is what we have. That means x plus y, this belongs to what? This belongs to 4n minus 2. This is pi comma 4n pi, right? This is what we have. Or y minus x, this is belonging to again 4m minus 2. This is pi comma 4m pi, right? This is what we have. Okay. Now you see, we have x plus y, we have y minus x, and y minus and x plus y. These are the 4 cases we have. That means we can see we have 2 cases. One is x plus y is equal to 2k pi form. It is representing a system of parallel lines, right, for different values of k. Or we can write it as y minus x is equal to, say, let me write it as 2n pi. Okay. So this is the thing we have. X plus y is equal to 2k pi, then we have y minus x is equal to 2n pi. So both represents a system of parallel lines. That means if we just draw the diagram now, right, and also we have been given mod of x plus mod of y is less than equal to 12 pi. So what we can have a system of lines here. You see, you have x plus y is equal to 2k pi, and then we have y minus x is equal to 2n pi. So if we talk about x plus y is equal to 2k pi, you can see here, these are the lines I am talking about, isn't it? So this is the origin I have, and again this is 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, then we have 8, 10, then we have 12, because the limitation has been given to us 12 pi. Then again we have the same thing. We have 1, say 2, 3, right, 4, 5, 6. So that means 2 pi, because we have a multiple of 2 pi in this case. So we have 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi, 10 pi, 12 pi. So from here we can see, I think the diagram is clear now. We have been also given that mod of x plus mod of y is less than equal to 12 pi, right? So that means this is what has been given. So I think clearly from the figure, the shading part is clear to you. So area will be what? Area will be nothing but we have 72 into 2 pi square, which is nothing but we have 144 pi square, right? So if we equate with k pi square, so k is going to be how much? K is going to be 144 in this case, right? So the final answer is going to be 144. This is the answer we have. So friends, let's talk about question number 51. A rectangle has 2 adjacent vertices on x-axis and the remaining 2 vertices on the curve y is equal to x times x minus 1 whole square for all x belongs to 0 comma 1 close interval. If the maximum area of the rectangle is a root a minus b upon c root d, where a, b, c, d belongs to n and a and d are the prime numbers, then we have a plus b plus c plus d is equal to what? You have been given this diagram, right? So this is like we have origin, this is y, this is x, right? So if we talk about y is equal to x times x minus 1 whole square, so how it can be drawn? The graph will be something like this, isn't it? This is how we have. This is 1, right? And this is 0 we have, okay? Now, remaining 2 vertices on the curve. So that means, let me take a line here. That is y is equal to c. This is y is equal to c, suppose. And it cuts the curve at alpha, this is beta, then we have gamma here, right? And gamma is always going to be greater than 1, right? Now, what will be the equation then? Equation is going to be x cube minus of, we have 2x square, and this is plus x minus c is equal to 0, right? And if we talk about this cubic equation, this has roots. This has roots, that is alpha comma beta and gamma we have, right? This has roots we have. Now we know for a cubic equation, the sum of the roots is going to be alpha plus beta plus gamma is going to be 2. Then we have the pair spent. We have to find, that is alpha gamma, this is beta gamma we have, which is equal to 1, right. So from here we can write alpha plus beta to be what? 2 minus gamma, right. This is what we have. Then we have alpha beta, and this gamma can be taken out common. Alpha plus beta is left out. We have 2 minus gamma. This is equal to 1 we have. Got it? Now alpha beta is going to be how much? 1 minus gamma times this is 2 minus gamma. Or we can write it as 1 plus gamma square minus 2 gamma, right? This is what you have. So you have to find the area of the rectangle in this case. So if you talk about the area of this rectangle, right, this is the rectangle I am talking about. So what is the breadth we have? We have beta minus alpha. And what is the length we have? C we have. Got it? So that means if we talk about the area now, the area is going to be how much? This is going to be this C times we have beta minus alpha. You got it? So this is going to be gamma times, because this is nothing but we have, you know, just same thing, gamma times gamma minus 1 whole square, right? So this is going to be gamma times, and this is gamma minus 1, okay, whole square we have. Then we have beta minus alpha. This is nothing but we have beta plus alpha whole square, and this is minus of 4 alpha times beta. So we have alpha into beta, then we have alpha plus beta. So here we can just substitute the values. So once you substitute the values, we come out with A here, what we have. So we can just write it in this way. This is gamma times gamma minus 1 whole square. Then we have beta plus alpha. Beta plus alpha is 2 minus gamma, right? So this is 2 minus gamma whole square minus 4 times. What is alpha beta? Alpha beta is 1 plus gamma square minus 2 gamma. Okay, this is what we have. Now, if we talk about this part, A, so this dA upon d gamma we have to find, because we have to find the maximum value now. That is equal to 0. So this is going to be gamma is equal to 5 plus root 7 divided by 6. Now, the maximum value we can find it out same way. Second derivative can be found out. We can check it if you want. That means we have A max. A max is going to be 7 root 7 minus 10 divided by, we have 108 root 3 here, right. A is going to be 7. We have B is equal to 10. We have C is equal to 108. We have D is equal to 3 in this case. So if we add it up, that means A plus B plus C plus D we have. This is always going to be 128. Okay. So this is what we have. So that means if you just see the final answer here, this is going to be 128, friends, right.